Okay, so these are the kind of stories that you hear about travelling to certain countries. You name a country, a third world country, and the chances are you will meet somebody who will say that they were robbed, scammed, cheated or harassed every time they stepped out of the hotel room. In many third world countries, you as a Western tourist will appear to be a walking ATM to many of these poor locals. Africa, Caribbean, Latin America, maybe even some European countries, it will appear that you simply cannot step out of your hotel room without somebody following you and harassing you. So, I'm not here to talk about robberies or crime, that's another subject. I'm simply here to talk about countries where you are likely to be hassled every time you take a walk. Street hassles. And the countries that I'm going to focus on are the 3 countries that I visited in my last winter of travels. Thailand, Cambodia and the Philippines. Which of these countries are you most likely to face any form of street hassles? Well, let me firstly say that these Southeast Asian countries are not by a long way the most hassly places I've ever visited. Africa or even some European countries can be far worse. In fact, the worst place I ever visited for street hassles was Istanbul. As a tourist there, I found it was a place where I couldn't leave the hotel without some shady person trying to strike up a conversation, lead you into a tourist trap, sell you something, and then having the cheek to follow you. These kind of creeps tend to hang around the well-known tourist sites of Istanbul. They can get on your nerves, but you quickly get wise to them. They begin their spiel with trying to shake your hand. "Hi, my friend, where are you from?" Well, when a stranger stops you in the street and says, "Hi, my friend, where are you from?" it means they are trying to rob, cheat, sell, or lead you into a tourist trap. So your answer should be, "I am not your friend, I have never met you before, and I do not wish to shake your hand because I don't know where your hand has been." So, on to the Southeast Asian countries, and I'll begin with Thailand. Well, street hassles? Street hassles in Thailand? Really? Well, it's never seemed that way to me. You don't get hassled on the street in Thailand. Thai people don't try and strike up a conversation and then try and follow you when you're not interested. They don't try and befriend you and lead you into a tourist trap, do they? It's just not that kind of country. They are not the hassly type of people like you get in many other countries. So can you get street hassles in Thailand? Well, I think the closest you may get to it is the type of hawkers who will approach you when you're having a drink at the beer bars, selling the usual stuff you don't want or need. It can get annoying, but they're not really that persistent. If it's clear that you're not interested, they'll move on. Also annoying and a bit more persistent is the guys who want to sell you a suit. You know, the guys who, when you're passing their shop, they will show you brochures of a suit and then invite you to come into their shop and try on some suit or get measured up for the suit. And if you're not interested in a suit, then they want to give you a card so that you at least know that if you want a suit, then you can come and buy a suit. And if you're thinking about buying a suit, then there's the card. Come in and they'll measure you up for the suit. And basically, even if you don't want a suit, well, at least take their cards anyway. So you never know, you may just be thinking about buying a suit. And if you are thinking about buying a suit, then there's the card and there's their number. How many times do I have to tell you I don't want a suit? As for scams, well, I've heard that in Pattaya there are scams on every corner. Yes, someone actually commented that on one of my videos. Are there scams in every corner in Pattaya? Never seen that way to me. I think you're only going to get scammed if you allow yourself to get scammed. So stay away from scams. Personally, I've been going to Pattaya for 18 years and I've never been scammed yet. Anyway, enough of that one. So to Cambodia. Are you likely to be hassled much in Cambodia, Siem Reap, Phnom Penh, wherever? Well, the first answer I'll give to this is, no, not really. In fact, there are so little hassles in these places, I've never even thought about it before. In Cambodia, you can walk around without people bothering you, following you, strangers striking up a conversation with you on the street when you know their intentions are not good. I've been going to Cambodia for years and I've never had any of that. And yet you still hear of other people having a different experience. I've heard of people saying they didn't feel safe walking around the main areas of Cambodia, especially at night. Well, if you stick to the well-lit tourist areas, I can't see you having a problem. Just a few points I'll make about Cambodia. You do see some robed monks wandering around Phnom Penh, wanting to give you a pendant of some sort. Your donation will, of course, go to good causes. Well, it looks like a scam to me. This monk will show you a list of what other people have donated, urging you to donate a similar amount. No way. Look at those donations from other people. They're obviously made up, because no one is going to give a monk $20 for some little charm which you'll probably have no use for. Also, in some of the main tourist sites, you will be urged to get a guide to accompany you. You may need one, but if you don't, they can be quite forceful and can be a bit annoying. So, I've said there are not really any street hassles in Cambodia. Others may disagree, but I walk everywhere in Cambodia and I can tell you I've very rarely been hassled. All with one exception: tuk-tuk drivers. Yes, tuk-tuk drivers can be a bit of a pain. Everywhere you'll go you'll hear tuk-tuk, lady, massage, etc. Every tourist area they'll call out to you, and sometimes they will even follow you if they think they can get a fare. It can get a bit annoying, but the key is to be cool about it. These fellas are working men, they've got a living to make, and it's a lot harder for them to make money than for us in the West. They're not scammers, and providing you set the fare with them beforehand, they won't rip you off. I've very rarely had a problem with tuk-tuk drivers, but many others claim they have. Tuk-tuk drivers are not a mafia, but remember, they will stick together if they have problems. They've all got mobile phones and can call on others for assistance very quickly. I heard one story of a drunken guy in Siem Reap who got tired of hearing the words tuk-tuk being called out to him, so he told the guy to F off. Within minutes he was surrounded by tuk-tuk drivers who proceeded to beat the crap out of him. It's worth remembering that even if you're travelling with companions, no matter how many people you can call on for assistance, those tuk-tuk drivers can call on for more. So to the Philippines. How is the Philippines for street hassles? Well, I don't claim to know the Philippines as well as I know the other two countries, but I've been to the Philippines twice, including a recent visit. A lot of people perceive the Philippines as being a bit more dodgy than other Southeast Asian countries. In fact, when I arrived there early this year, quite a few people made the comment, the Philippines is not Thailand. Well, I've already gone through the safety aspect of the Philippines, and I concluded it is a lot safer now than it seemed on my first visit years ago. In the Philippines, places like Manila, Angeles City, you can walk around without being hassled. The Philippines is now a safe country. But there's just one point I want to mention. Those touts, the ones trying to sell you anything from training shoes to Viagra, you're likely to come across these people in some of the more run-down areas of Manila or Angeles, and they are well worth avoiding. Whereas the hawkers of Thailand or Cambodia tend to be polite, these ones you will encounter in the Philippines are, to use an old English phrase, a different kettle of fish. What I mean is that some of them are very forceful or even aggressive. I'll give you a couple of examples of these touts during my recent visit. I was in Subic Bay having a day walk down the road near the beach and was approached by one with his usual Viagra and other things to sell. I told him I wasn't interested and he asked me where I was from. Dumbly I replied, England. To which he pulled out a couple of crispy £20 notes and said, well, in that case you wouldn't mind exchanging these for me. What? I'm in some dusty back road in Subic Bay and this tout is carrying a couple of £20 notes in his wallet. What the hell's he doing with these? Well, it's obviously some sort of exchange rate scam, and no, I didn't fall for it. A more serious encounter I had, again in Subic Bay, was the first night I arrived. I've mentioned this in a previous video. Basically what it was, I was in a late night bar close to the hotel. I wasn't there for girls, more for a late night pizza and a couple of beers. I left the place and passed a bunch of tricycle riders. The hotel was just 100 metres away across the road. Next minute, some crazy, nasty character blocked my path like an aggressive beggar and started shouting about, "I'll get you girl for 1,000 pesos. I told him I didn't want a girl and to get out of my way because it was close to the oncoming traffic. I wasn't prepared for this and it became quite a heated confrontation, shouting and swearing. The Filipino people tend to be quite small, but this one wasn't. The bastard was built like Mike Tyson. I think he was some sort of pimp who was obviously having a bad night, and I was the only Western guy around who was likely to have any money. Well, that confrontation lasted no more than a minute, but Christ, I wasn't prepared for that, and yes, it did disturb me. When I was back at the hotel, I thought to myself, so is that the reason that so many people said to me, the Philippines is not Thailand? Is that really what it's all about? Now, this may have been this confrontation may have been a rare occurrence, but I can honestly say that I have never ever seen that level of aggression from a Thai or a Cambodian in all the years that I've visited those countries. Now, I don't want this to sound like I'm categorising all the Filipino people in this way, far from it. My recent visit to the Philippines was a most pleasant experience, and the Filipino people, like the Thais and the Cambodians, are the most friendly and hospitable race of people. This vlog I'm doing here is simply about street hassles. All I'm saying is that you have to be extra careful in the Philippines. This country seems to me to be far safer for the tourists than it used to be, but just watch out for those aggressive touts. Learn to see them coming before they see you coming. The Filipino people are terrific. Those touts are well worth avoiding. So I hope this video has been useful if you plan on visiting any of these countries. Others may disagree with what I've said, but as far as I'm concerned, any hassles you're likely to encounter in places like Thailand, Cambodia and the Philippines are actually minor in comparison to what you can get in other countries, you know, Caribbean, Latin America, Africa, those sort of places. In Southeast Asia, if you stick to well-lit areas, don't get involved in anything you shouldn't get involved in, never trust anybody, and you'll be just fine. So, thanks for watching, and of course a big welcome to all those new subscribers to this channel. It's great to have you here. And of course the people who've been watching this channel for quite a while now. I really do appreciate your support. So as for me, it's going to be autumn time soon. It's the month of August right now. My travelling season begins in a few weeks' time. I'll be beginning in Poland and quickly moving on to Thailand. So hopefully, once my travelling gets underway, I'll be uploading videos on a lot more regular basis. So I'll say thanks for watching. Have a great day, a great evening, whatever you're doing. Safe travels to everybody. I'm Steady Eddie. I'm having a late night beer. So cheers. Oh, speckled hen. Beautiful.